fame. Let's go.
Oh, welcome to the 14ASports radio show. So it's a mystery, but it's a great one. It's one that we welcome.
That just soothed me.
That's what I'm saying. Well, we have a little air conditioner malfunction.
I think
here.
it's
a little.
3 degrees.
A little.
Yeah,
Oh my
so
God.
We need to keep calm.
We do.
Serenity
Good thing
now.
you're dressed for the occasion.
Sure does. And by the way, that is
Advertising.
the brand new 14ASports.com tank tops that you guys can get. Definitely make sure you guys go to 14ASports.com. You could put in the email order with us. Sizes, colors, limited right now, still in black. But we got a whole new shipment of T-shirts coming out later that you guys are definitely going to want to check out.
Yeah, I was rocking this on the beach all weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
the one with the red. But,
Different ones, right?
I gotta tell.
This is clean.
I gotta tell you though, Morley did not do a good enough job on the ladies' sizes because I know the ladies aren't too happy. I gave mine to Oates, and she was like, "I'm offended.
Why was
I'm
she
so offended.
Why was she offended?
I don't know. I guess just the cut for the ladies isn't that great, you know.
What's? I
Well,
don't get it.
more
I don't know. Cole's even had a little snickerish comment for everyone too. So
Coles, are you snickering and commenting?
Well, Morley, you could borrow Cole's next time to help get a mold for
Yeah.
the shirt or something. I
I'm
guess.
gonna have to do something for all this. All right. Well, as you all know, this is the 14A Sports radio show. To my left, the one-line king, Richie K, in the building.
How you doing?
Fantastic.
That's great. Oh, happy birthday, Mom! Today's Mom's birthday.
nice.
Oh, yes.
Happy
Happy birthday. Very nice. What a wonderful son you've brought into the world for everyone.
You jerk.
And to his left, that's everybody's favorite Irish Vern. What's going on, pal?
What's up, my man? How is it?
It's going great. It's going great. And by the way, we just want to let everybody know this episode of the 14A Sports radio show is brought to you by the Big Apple Sports Palace with wall-to-wall TVs and all the sports action. You'll never miss a beat. Call them up tonight and get some of the town's greatest food delivered to your door. 201-858-1075.
That was a good read. That was a nice job.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
you sound like a borderline professional.
That's the phone
Until the
number.
next time.
Borderline.
Semi-professional radio guy. All right, I just also want to give everybody a heads up. This is actually the first public announcement of this, but 15 Minutes of Fame radio barbecue / cookout is taking place
Gotta get a cookout.
August 18th, noon, down at Hudson County Park this year. Last year was a great turnout. It was the first one ever. So, now that we're involved, I think we could add a little different dimension to this one.
What do you mean?
Well,
I mean, we're going to bring the volleyball in that is what I mean.
we're gonna play badminton this year, guys.
I actually got a fantasy draft at like 4 that day, so I'm going to have to get a little tuned up there before I head to
Sure, you'll have
dominate
no problem
or
accomplishing
draft
that
the
feat.
winning team. What do you mean?
The 18th. That's a little. No, I guess that's a little early for a fantasy draft. A little bit.
Well, no, the fantasy draft's at like 4:30, something like that. So
No.
I'll have enough time to get it. The new. I'm sorry. I was on to the next time. I'm very
Oh,
excited.
you're always on to the next
I'm
one.
very excited because we had we just made a new friend over here in the last couple days. A guy named Jim Mock. His company is Enshriners R Us. So what Jim does is, he has a ridiculous collection of baseball cards, football cards, all sorts of things. So anything.
He does everything: baseball,
Yeah.
football, hockey, basketball, Red Bull.
Phenomenal, yeah.
David Beckham. He's doing World Cup apparel, golf,
He's tuning
boxing.
up
Got
for
it
the World
all.
Cup. He's getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said if you want to get your World Cup orders in, want to get it done early because he's got the 3-week shipping going on. With the
Yeah, he gets it
international
all
stuff.
from Europe.
Damn
That's right.
Europeans.
So let's hold him up. Let's show the crowd what kind of work he's got.
Very nice. Very
It's
well
nice.
put together. Yeah,
Now
love this.
I went with the Mark Barron Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With the Mark Barron Tampa Bay Buccaneers photo op right here.
Sucker.
Very nice. I was kind of hoping I'd get a red background, but that's cool. A black background here with all the different pictures. A lot of rookie cards from Mark Barron. So if times get tough, I might have to break the glass on this and go sell.
So should you write in case of emergency
Yeah.
on the bottom?
Very nice
to the
pieces.
piggy bank.
So Richie also went with the DeMarco Murray Cowboys one. It's nice. Got the blue popping out. I like the color scheme on that one.
They
That's
did a
really
very nice
good
job
one.
on it. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Mully got the Justin Tuck Giants over there.
I almost went with Henry Hynoski, the Hynoceros.
I don't know if you could have found for it.
That's what I was
That might
thinking,
have been
yeah.
a tough order to fill. Yeah.
Jeez. So if you guys want to place any orders of your own, email James. It's actually enshrinersorus@yahoo.com. We just posted something to the website a couple minutes ago. So if you guys want to go to 14asports.com and get more information on this, and you can place your own orders. Jim's a great guy. Reached out to us after he saw the article in Jersey Journal. Very nice thing they did for us. These were free of charge. They're not going to be free of charge to the public, but definitely, the great piece of artwork right there if you're a sports fan.
That makes for a great gift, though.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah, he stopped by, dropped him off to us. We had no idea what to expect, right?
No, right.
Yeah.
We didn't
When
know
Walsh
what- yeah,
explains
we
something,
yeah.
to you, you don't
I didn't know
what
if
the
he
fuck
was
is
gonna put. I didn't know if he was gonna put stick figures on construction paper. I didn't know if it was gonna be too good. I don't know what to expect.
but
this is phenomenal.
Definitely a
Cool.
nice
So
surprise on a Wednesday.
He's going to be on the show next week. Right?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And, we'll get into the whole story of how this all came about. Jim's a retired guy right now trying to make this his next business venture, and I think it's going to be very successful.
Absolutely. He was involved, he was saying before the show, involved in Hudson County sports. He refereed high school football,
Yep.
so I'm sure he has a lot of interesting stories.
Yeah, he actually knows a lot of the
Yeah, some
guys
good
that we've
ones,
had
yeah.
on the show. Jerome, Patty, Pat Devaney, a lot of those people. So very, very interesting stuff.
Yeah, so he'll be there next week, so you got that.
Yep. Now, speaking of Patty Boy, just mentioned him a little while ago. He had a very interesting time this weekend.
Wow. What?
Oh,
bananas.
Bananas.
This is like
Bananas.
WWF style. Where's the think when you need them?
It really was. It really was.
So Saturday night, I guess we got to start Friday.
Yeah, the weigh-in.
The weigh-in on Friday. Patty Boy and Tree and Tiff Pillow. Still
Tree-
can't pronounce. I haven't even tried.
You're-
I don't even think he deserves his name.
Let's call him the opponent.
Okay, the
Yeah.
opponent.
We can pronounce that.
So you know how these weigh-ins are, guys getting face to face. Sometimes they say the wrong things.
Sometimes it's fireworks.
Most guys keep it civil.
You know, if they don't, Triana Phil, the opponent actually, he actually for his antics, which we'll describe, he actually got fined. So there is
Right.
a protocol.
A hefty fine?
Right. $1,000.
Yeah, because he
That's
came in
hefty enough.
12 pounds overweight.
Well, was it? No, he got fined for his actions. What he did.
Ah,
12 pounds over. It sounded like when he called in last week, he was snacking on a couple sausages and drinking a 12-pack.
He didn't look like he
smoked
was
like 3
in-
packs.
yeah.
You know?
sounded like
He
he was in
didn't
the
look like
back
he was in
room of a
great shape.
deli, just
Yeah, he was
going
still
to
in
town on the
Chicago having some
inventory.
deep
Polish
dishes.
sausage.
Oh
Yeah.
boy! All right,
Thinking
so
of Abe Probman.
the king of sausage. So him and Patty had some choice words, and the opponent just open hand slaps Patty Boy.
Yeah.
Just slaps him, and then all a ruckus ensues.
Yeah. So they're nose to nose. Patty told him he was going to knock his teeth in. So the opponent,
Which usually goes over well.
yeah,
Right.
But I mean, you're fighting the next day. It's
Yeah.
exchange words, and the opponent reached back and came back and slapped Pat across the face.
Now this is in front of his friends, family,
Yeah, his brother,
just
his
people.
brother, his brother actually went after the opponent. That
Yeah.
was a big to do. But yeah, so the kid got fined $1,000, so he was $1,000 short going into the fight.
Very disrespectful.
But so then what happened at the fight was even more crazy. So
Oh, yeah.
the kid goes right, all good. They're in the middle of the ring, and the ref's giving him instructions, and the kid just goes, "I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this," and literally walks out of the ring.
Yeah. Very bizarre moment in boxing history. A lot of national websites picked this up.
Yeah.
It's something out there that people are going to remember forever. I know me and Richie were talking about going last minute. Thank God we didn't,
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, man.
The crowd was not happy. They were
Oh, my
screaming,
God.
yelling, chanting some choice words at him, at the opponent. But speaking of boxing history, Harold Letterman, who famous boxing
Right.
judge, been around the game 50 years. He said in his 50 years he's never seen anything like that. What went on?
Absolutely
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people are definitely going to be talking. If he wanted to get his name mentioned.
Yeah. Well, I don't
But
know,
it's
that's
horrible.
not the
Yeah,
right
not
way
in a
to go
good
about
way.
it, man.
Yeah, because like
Nah.
I said, you waste so much time between your training and you dedicate your life to getting ready for these fights that
Yeah.
it's an absolute shame.
I don't think that kid will ever box again.
No.
Yeah,
Especially
who's
in
gonna
the state of
wanna?
New Jersey,
Yeah.
I don't even think he should show his face anywhere around here. I mean, that's just an absolute coward act.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boxing. Okay. All you got to do is punch the guy. Let's go. Fisticuffs. Come on. You don't walk.
You buy? That's
You
pretty
don't
nice.
walk out of the ring.
Go
Oh, yeah,
in and
you're
take
right.
a dive or something, like the respectable boxers have done down the line.
Oh boy.
Speaking of actual boxers, you guys ran into Chuck Webner, huh?
Sure did, yeah.
yeah.
Last Wednesday we did, the champ, more than willing, to come on the show. So I think, unfortunately, Patty Boy couldn't be with us tonight. Had to work a shift tonight, and we're gonna try to have him on. We can't have him on next week because, again, vacation time getting in the way of things.
Vacation Vern.
Nah. Vern got the shift next week. It's his. So he's doing a good deed for a good guy. In 2 weeks, I think we're gonna try to have on Patty Boy and the champ as well.
Man, that'd be unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's a big night.
Hopefully, there's no shenanigans there.
Oh
Anybody
man,
slacking off?
imagine
man.
We
Chuck
can't
just
have
slaps him.
Dude,
Well,
he's still
My era's
I'm-
better than
I'm-
boxing.
his hands.
I'm diving out of the way. They can
Yeah. Bro, Webner's hands
I'm not
are
intervening in
huge.
that. Yeah, he's a big
Nah.
dude. He's a big
Jesus.
dude.
Yeah, great. That'll be something great for everybody. Especially in this town of Bayonne that know both guys. And I don't think the two of them ever. They said they met once. So so this will be a once in a lifetime thing that we got going on.
Yeah, making it happen. No, that's very exciting. I'm looking forward to him. I have to do some more research on the champ.
Yeah, we do.
I don't read his bio. A lot of famous fights. I know a lot about him, but
That
wanna
ESPN
be on
piece was
point.
great.
Yes,
The
we
real-
will.
the-
We
the
will
real-
definitely have a viewing party for that one.
The real Rocky. was
Washington
called,
Plaza.
I'll
South?
bring the beers. I'll bring the beers.
Nice.
So the MLB trade deadline was today. Came and went without little excitement at all.
Yeah, pretty quiet.
I would argue that the top deal of all this is Jake Peavy going to Boston in that 3-team deal.
Yeah, well, what happened with that is Johnny Peralta, the Detroit shortstop,
Yep.
is going to get suspended for violence, and so Detroit had to go get a shortstop. So they made it happen.
Yeah, and the guy that they got in return, very, very great player. Jose Iglesias coming over from
young
Boston. Now, a lot of speculation had Cliff Lee going to Boston. That ended up not happening. I think the Phillies wanted the farm there. They wanted, both top prospects from the Red Sox. So,
Yeah,
that fell apart.
They wanted Xander
Yeah.
Bogart, and plus Lee is owed like $80 million.
Yeah, and
so
you're not getting the lead that was 4 or 5 years ago,
No.
Lee, so you can't.
Well,
ask for
that's
that
why
right
I
now.
wanted to get rid of him, and I wanted Bogarts.
Yeah,
Are you kidding
but
me?
that was a non-starter for the Red Sox, especially with that kind of money. Maybe you get a big prospect and pick up the money, or dump the money and you don't get much of a prospect. But so the Phillies, even though they lost their row, they didn't make any moves, huh?
Nah, I'm shocked.
Ruben Amaro sitting on his hands.
Michael Young doesn't go anywhere. I was a little upset about that. Listen, the Phillies got some capable guys there that can fill right in. I thought Michael Young going was very imminent.
He should have. There's
Yeah.
no reason for him. Well, he could still go. He could still go through the waiver wire.
Yeah, that's
'cause he's
true.
owed $15 million, but they still should.
An interesting rumor I heard over this, Cliff Lee was also rumored to be going to the Dodgers. And, it wasn't going to work out right now. But in the offseason, there's a potential that, there's going to be other people involved. But Matt Kemp for Cliff Lee, would you do that deal if you're the Dodgers?
No.
Wow. Well, if Matt Kemp's healthy, he's one of the best players in baseball.
Right.
Having
a tough year this
Lee's
year.
not one of the best pitchers anymore.
Matt Kemp,
He's
but
37,
they
38.
both are owed a ton of money.
Right.
But Cliff Lee's having a great year. He's been very good this year.
His last couple starts,
his
though,
last
haven't-
couple
he
starts,
hasn't
yeah.
been doing that well.
But that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah.
But he's not going to be an ace going down the road into next year. What's he, like 38 now? He's
Yeah, and it's
more like
interesting.
a 2-3 going into next year.
Yeah, and the one thing that I thought, Cliff, the Phillies signed the Cuban prospect. I can't think of his name right now, but they signed him to a 6-year, $50 million deal, and now they have Lee and this guy. So I thought when they got him, I thought Lee was just a sure deal to be heading out of Philly.
Yeah, and I think it's a money thing. He's owed a lot of money. He's getting up there, as Richard was
yeah,
saying.
they're going to have to pick up some of that contract.
So, yeah, we'll
That
see.
pitching staff makes bank, bro.
Yeah,
Dude, look at-
Kershaw, Grinke. You throw Lee in the mix. Grinke has a huge
Well,
deal.
I'm talking about the Phillies right
Oh,
now.
Phillies,
Their
yeah.
whole rotation, my God,
Not even
and
that good.
yeah, exactly. Very unhappy
I like
with
that. That's awesome.
So interesting.
For
A guy from ESPN, the magazine, does an article on Johnny Manziel this week, talking about all the
man,
trials and
this poor kid,
tribulations
bro.
going on with him.
He seems like a bit of a psycho.
Well, I think you would be a psycho too if your life is
I am
being
a
followed.
Yeah.
And you're only being followed this much. Good Lord. But one of the things in there that I thought was very interesting, the main focus of the article is Manziel's father. And he says, I've envisioned it many of times where I see myself getting a phone call or I see something across the bottom ticker on the news where my son's going to be in a lot of trouble. And he's basically saying that, all this media pressure has made him more of a drinker, so.
Is he the next Ryan Leaf? Breaking into homes.
I don't even think he'll make it that far.
I mean, the kid's super talented. I don't know about. I mean, he'll obviously get drafted. NFL wise, he's a little small. Little questions about his arm strength. But yeah, he's all over it. He's all over the map, man. He really is. They said even towards like his family, like he'll play. The father doesn't want to play golf with him because he goes bananas.
Yeah.
He snaps at the family, yells and screams and stuff. So yeah. Yeah,
the guy can't even go to a frat party without getting a beer cup thrown at his head.
Well, you shouldn't be going to your rival's school, I mean, you know how things are in this day and age, and with social media and everything. You would think that that situation cannot end up well, where you're going to a party at the University of Texas. You're just walking right into the Lions. Then
no, I agree. Yeah,
well, maybe it is a little crazy. Right?
Yeah, it seems it.
Something also that was pretty interesting from that article too. Mrs. Manziel, she says in there, she said, I realized the direct change in Johnny right after that win at Alabama when he's getting escorted back to the team bus by all these different cops and stuff like that. His mom just saw this look on his face that never showed that he's not dealing with this well. So going forward, like she saw it right there. That was the first time.
The Heisman and everything. Yeah, no, he blew up.
So
could be like a male sports version of Amanda Bynes.
Well, it's so funny how some people can handle when you blow up that quick. Like your boy Harvey, he's handling it exceptionally well. But some people aren't. But
nothing
major.
But some people just between the ears, they don't have it. You never know how you're going to handle it until you're thrown into it. And
and I heard something.
Here we go.
I heard something interesting on the radio today too. They're talking about Manziel is really the first guy to face this kind of pressure. Now with Twitter and YouTube and everything like that. Yes, LeBron James might have started it. With every basket that he shoots now is being overanalyzed like crazy. But the football season hasn't, a lot of the stuff that he's been dealing with has been going on in the offseason.
Yeah, it's off the field.
But a lot of it's his own creation. Like he's tweeting
he
out pictures sitting courtside and with money, whatever. Like he's in it right in the mix with it. It's not like he's trying to shy away and they keep coming after him.
I think too, if we're at a casino and we got a huge roll up, we're taking pictures of it. If we're sitting courtside, we're taking pictures.
You didn't win the Heisman, bro. It's different.
Not yet.
Not yet. In NCAA 13 he did.
Twice. But very interesting stuff with the Manziel article. Your parents know you best, so that they had a lot of stuff about that. Of course, your parents know you best. Tommy Walsh is in the building tonight, as is Kevin Walsh. Got a lot of great stuff going on here tonight.
Actually, though, speaking of college football, we're gonna have top 25 college football preview coming.
Can't wait for that.
Soon.
Can't wait for that.
My buddy Brian Gallagher, big time into college football. But just talking about the SEC, I think he said 8 out of his top 8 teams, 5 of them are SEC teams.
Yeah.
So, Johnny Manziel, he had a great year last year, but that's a tough year to repeat. So imagine he goes to the SEC and they struggle. That now, how's he going to react? He couldn't deal with success. How about failure if they experience
just like,
that?
Cam Newton couldn't deal with losing. In Carolina, they're starting to lose it last year. Right?
Yeah, he seems to be maturing a little more.
Same thing. Manziel never tasted loss in his life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was kind of he came out of nowhere. He was like the 4th kid on the depth chart going into spring practice at A&M. They didn't even know what they had in him. And, he kind of came out of nowhere. And he really, like you said, he's only really won so far. Yeah. So let's see what happens when, if he
guys like that don't lose in high school, So he's never lost in high school.
Right.
Yeah, thank God college football season is a month away for Manziel's case, because, he just wants to get on the field and prove these people wrong.
Yeah, right. 12, 13 weeks of putting him on a schedule and getting his head back into it.
Definitely. All right, when we get back from the break, we're gonna go into the pro game. We're gonna play a little over/under game. We're gonna talk about this new Pro Bowl format that we'll have. Also coming up later on the show, Kevin Epstein, the fantasy football geek, as he likes to call himself.
He's not a geek.
He was good. He was on
self-proclaimed. Cool. Yeah, great guy. We're going to break down the wide receiver position in fantasy for everybody this year. Go to his website, fantasyfootballadvisor.net. All right, we're going to get to a video right now from Audio Insight. This one's live at the Wolf Den. 14A Sports on 15 Minutes Fame Radio. Right back.
Let's go!
Oh, welcome back to the 14A Sports Radio Show. How about, so what do you guys think about this new Pro Bowl format? It's going to have a different look to it. Goodbye with that AFC, NFC traditional nonsense.
Right.
Now we're going to have a little fantasy draft. Have some fun with this thing.
Yeah. So who are the captains? How are they picking?
Jerry Rice and Deion Sanders are going to be the captains for this thing.
Nice.
And then I think
there's some kind of fan element, right?
Yeah, I think they're going to have one. I think there's going to be one like main player that goes to each team. I believe that's how it's going to go. And then they're going to have a free-for-all pick 'em.
Yeah, it's like a fantasy draft, right?
Yeah, pretty interesting, though. You got Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders in there. It's got a nice little feel to it.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a little... it's different. Like I was saying, that the Pro Bowl always struck me as like the most boring of all-star events, You know
what? Football, the season's over, right?
Yeah,
football is hard to play exhibition games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not meant to be played like that. Mm-hmm. So they're changing it. Actually, Goodell almost canceled it. They almost did away with it because it became such a joke.
Well, the players just like the trip to Hawaii. So when they tried to take it away from Hawaii,
yeah,
because Aikman used to play and then leave and get fined for leaving the stadium and go out hanging.
For Hawaii, I mean that's a big moneymaker for them. That's a huge moneymaker.
Yeah, that's a huge.
They make millions of dollars during that whole Pro Bowl week. So I'm sure they put their pitch in and weren't happy with the decision.
Well, yeah, they're doing it in the Super Bowl site now, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I know they did it for the 1 year.
In Miami, they
put it in Miami.
But now they brought it back, right?
I thought that was really cool that they did it in Miami.
They had it the week before the Super Bowl in the city. That's what they should do, probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. I think when you put it in an NFL stadium, it looks a little more official, as opposed to Hawaii. But, in general, you know what it is. It's that one chance for bettors to get their good bet in for the rest of the football season. That's fine.
Yeah, just bet the over.
Yeah, for real.
I got retweeted last year by the Buccaneers mascot last year. I had some ridiculous comment up there about him. Got retweeted, hit us back. Good stuff.
About who? You had a comment about who?
Vincent Jackson. After Vincent Jackson scored a touchdown, he did that jump in the air with the mascot. It's like, look at Captain Buck get some air. And he's like, yeah, we've been practicing that.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. Now, if we can get real people in there, that'd be great. But
mascots are people, too.
Yeah, right.
Somewhere under there.
Actually, the voting for this is what it's going to be is the two leading vote getters are going to be named captains, split up, and then they're going to assist Rice and Deion Sanders with that.
That's cool. To make it more interactive, something new and fresh.
Well, Deion Sanders definitely make the whole process interesting.
Oh, yeah.
His character.
I hope he comes out as Sandcastle.
It's Leon Sandcastle.
Oh, the thing, yeah.
Well, the NHL did something similar like this a couple of years ago, or if it was last year. No, not this year, but the year before that, where they had the fantasy draft for the All-Star game.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Good stuff. Good stuff by the NFL. Always improving that league. That's why they're top dog. All right, so Vegas posted another updated list of over-unders for the NFL teams. We're going to run down some of our favorite picks right now. I think we're going to take three picks each. Try not to step on each other's toes here. Wow. All right, Irish Vern, you want to lead it off?
Yeah, I'll go. So let's stay in my division, the NFC East.
All right.
The Eagles, their number right now is 7.5.
Okay.
I like the under. I definitely like the under. Not on the Eagles this year. Chip Kelly is definitely unknown. They don't have a solid number one quarterback. I think they're in a rebuilding process. I think Chip Kelly going to wind up being a good coach, but it's going to take him, a couple seasons, change over the player personnel to get his offense, his guys in there. Macklin tore his ACL. He's out for the season. Now they're dealing with Riley Cooper. Who knows what's going to go on?
What did he do?
Yeah. I don't know. He said something. I don't know.
He went bananas.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk a little more about Philly, because they have a very interesting receiver situation right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. So 7.5. I'm all in on the Eagles under right there.
I would agree with you. You on that.
Keith McCord, if you're watching,
boom.
What's up?
Yeah. Pow.
Pow. Pow.
Excuse
me, are you saying pow? Pow.
All right, who's up? I got the Eagles under.
All right, Richie, what you got?
All right, first one I wrote down, I got the Pats under 11.
Okay.
You got the Brady's offense there. What's going to happen with it? He's got his top 7 pass catchers from last year. He's without him. Who's going to throw the ball to? Mm-hmm. It's interesting how that's all going to work out. You got the Hernandez thing, although he's not part of the team, it's still lingering around them,
Right.
Tebow's always a distraction. You just don't know what's going to happen there. And I see maybe like 10 games. I don't see them taking a huge fall off. Like 9-10 games, but definitely under 11.
And that division, what do you think of that division? So you have Miami. Miami's looking to make. I
like Miami this year.
Yeah, I
think I'm not on board with them.
You like Tannehill?
I do. I just don't think that they're going to win that division. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. There's a lot of speed on that team. Great. A lot of new pieces, though. What's Lamar Miller going to do? We have no idea what this guy can do.
They're 500 or better, though, I think.
The one thing I think that works their advantage is Buffalo and the Jets. The next 4 games you get, that should be a 3-1 spot easy, because I think they're both going to be terrible.
Is anybody
going split with New England?
Is anybody going with a Buffalo pick?
Yeah, I got them on here.
Yeah, all right. We'll save it for then. All right. My first pick, I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts.
The Colts?
The Colts.
Indianapolis Colts.
The Colts are listed at 8.5. I got to go over here.
You like that?
Vegas says otherwise. It's looking like they're going to be under because they're minus 130 on the under 8.5.
Right.
I see the Colts winning this division. And I believe it's going to take more than 8 games to do it. The division's a little weaker. Houston's not going to be as good. Tennessee, I think they're going to have a better year than they had last year. Obviously, they can't do worse. But I see the Colts taking that next step.
You
Andrew
see Houston
Luck
taking a huge drop off.
I do. I don't see him making the playoffs. I see 8-8, 9-7, something along those lines.
Shaw really fell apart at the end of last year.
I don't think Aaron Foster's going to play 16 games this season.
No, he's not.
I mean, Ben Tate's a pretty good backup. That's pretty good insurance.
Andre Johnson is getting older.
Strong defense. So you got Watt.
Yeah.
I just see the Colts running away with that division.
They haven't had a second receiver, right? Kevin Walter has been a second receiver. They haven't had anyone to put next to Andre Johnson, so they drafted a kid out of Clemson.
My boy, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah. So but traditionally rookie receivers don't make that big an impact in the NFL.
Right.
So it would be interesting to see if he could elevate that offense a little bit because Schaub really struggled down the stretch.
Mm-hmm. You don't see Luck taking a sophomore slump at all?
I don't.
It's just all growing for him.
I don't. This guy's incredibly smart. John Elway went to Stanford. But he had pretty good success early on in his career. I think second season Super Bowl, yeah. That's a lot of comparisons right there. I don't see Andy going to the Super Bowl, but I definitely see Andrew Luck, having that elite title after his name after this season.
How about that? You get a dozen years with Manning, and then you get right back into another guy that's going to do nothing but win for you.
They love it. They're similar to, I don't know, the only way I can think of, but like the Spurs with David Robinson. David Robinson gets hurt. They stink for a year.
It's perfect, yeah.
And, I'm a perfect guy, Perfect. Crickets.
Okay. Now, I see the Colts going 11-5 this season.
You like Ahmad Bradshaw to
No, Vic Ballard all over again.
Yeah?
I like me some Vic Ballard.
You're on the Ballard bandwagon?
They say Bradshaw isn't 100%. That foot issue's still going to be lingering.
He always carries pretty good.
Oh, man. He's the toughest running back.
Sure is.
He was great to root for. He was fun because he was
glad
gritty,
to see him.
He was gritty. Yeah. He was a tough player.
Oh, boy. All right, Vern, we're on the round 2 right now.
All right. Staying a little local flavor. The Jets. I think the Jets, so their number's at 6.5.
Right.
I think they're going to be terrible. Ooh. I don't think there's any way they're going to
either one of those quarterbacks.
I think Sanchez is what he is. I think we've seen what he is the last 2 years.
Oh, absolutely.
Partly, that offensive line should be a little bit more improved, but they have no weapons, right? You don't know what Holmes is. Keller's gone. I don't like any of their weapons. The backfield, is Chris Ivory going to make a leap? He really hasn't been given a shot yet, but
they're saying he's only slated for 15 carries a game.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, we saw that on the way over here today. Yeah.
So I don't like the Jets' offense. I think Geno has a chance to be pretty good, but the new offensive coordinator for the Jets, that's Marty Mornhinweg. He runs that West Coast system. It's completely different from what Geno ran in college at West Virginia. So it's basically like starting over. I think Geno, I think he might down the line a couple of years be an NFL quarterback, but I don't think it's this year. And the other thing is, I think he's going to play. I think they need to find out how good he is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he has to play. Right.
So I think at the worst it'll be similar to like Eli and Kurt Warner, where Kurt Warner started the first 5 or 6 games. And then Geno comes in. So I think Geno, he's a steep learning curve. I don't think the Jets come anywhere close 6.5. So I got under on the Eagles 7.5, and I'm under on the Jets.
Keeping it local.
Yeah, I agree the Jets under, but Geno, you don't think he could find any successful, the short to intermediate passes in the West Coast, thinking dunk slinging him to the backfield?
His 2 receivers at West Virginia, with Tavon Austin, Stephen Bailey, he threw a lot of those screen type passes. But it's the terminology, it's the system, it's the reads, it's the checkdowns. It's a lot to learn. So it's going to take him a while. I think he has some talent. I think Geno might be a pretty good NFL quarterback, but I don't think it's going to be this year.
Yeah, they do have to play him, though.
And I think they're going to play him, and he's going to make he's a rookie quarterback. They make mistakes,
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. We were watching NFL Network today. Said Sanchez had an absolutely horrible day today at practice.
3 of 10.
Yeah, it could change. Yeah, and they said Geno Smith goes 5-6, but nothing out of the ordinary.
He's only thrown like 1 interception in camp.
A lot of the insiders in the Jets love the vertical passing game that Geno's been showing early in practice.
Okay.
And I kind of see Geno getting in there a little earlier. I think you have to. The Jets owe it to Sanchez to have him start the season.
They don't
at
owe
least.
him anything.
2 AFC Championship games in his first 2 seasons,
and he's been paid heavily.
That's fine. That's fine. Hey, you could talk about the deep, how great they were.
Listen, it comes down to winning games in the NFL, and the guy can't do it, so they owe him shit.
He turns it over too much.
Then you got to see what he has coming out of the gate.
Get him a tray of hot dogs and sit his ass on the sideline.
You get a little heat, a little fight on about Marcus Sanchez.
Sure
It's horrible. And stop giving the guy, all these excuses and chances. Whatever, he sucks.
I got to see when the Jets bye week. If it's early, I think you got to ride him at least
we should
until
have deported
until
him
the
and
bye
Tebow
week.
to Canada. And just call it a day.
I don't know. I think we got to see what Sanchez. Listen, he's been getting bashed all season since since he's got here. All right, you don't think he's pretty
got here. His first 2 years, he was the next Joe Namath. What are you kidding me?
That first year, that was his defense and the running game that took him there.
No, you got to give him the credit.
The second year, he had a good run in the playoffs. But, I mean, they weren't 11-5, 12-4 teams, right? I mean, they were just getting in.
Well,
Cincinnati had to lay down for them to get in the first year.
You also got the Patriots in that division. They weren't going to overstep them whatsoever.
Until Rex Ryan.
They've had pretty good success heads up versus the Patriots, though. They've actually done pretty well against them. But the Patriots, they're clearly just a better organization. But all
right, so that Jets bye week is in week 10. So I don't. No. I just want to.
He loves the schedule.
I just want to give maybe a bar for him for when it's over for him.
I'm looking at 1-1.
I don't think so. Stop. Don't be serious.
Oh, they play Tampa to open the season?
No, but I think in the first 4 games, you could get at least a good barometer. You got Tampa Bay, New England, Buffalo, Tennessee. All right, you see what he's got in those 4 games. If it's terrible, all right, then you got Geno.
I agree, but I think it also depends on how quick Geno comes. You know what I mean? It might take Geno a while to get his head around it. Maybe he'll do it a lot quicker than that. So as soon as they think Geno's ready, play him.
Right.
Because you know what Sanchez is already. And, he hasn't been good in training camp. So I think it's more.
Yeah, they drafted him for a reason.
I think it's more about Geno than it is Sanchez.
Yeah, Sanchez on borrowed time, and everybody knows it.
Right, exactly. The only reason he's still on that team is because of cap reasons. That's the only reason. Or else he would be cut.
Interesting. Yeah, he's definitely going to be looking for a backup gig next year.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Rich. Round 2 for you.
All right, we're going with the boys over 8.5.
Oh, what a homer pick.
Put an asterisk next to this as long as DeMarco Murray stays healthy. No, I think they're a 9-win team on paper anyway, easily.
Really?
Yeah, I see them at 9. You don't see them there?
That NFC East is a tough division, man. I think 10 games wins that division. It's contingent on health. Is DeMarco
you figure
Murray
the Eagles? We don't
healthy?
see the Eagles are going to be that good, and Miles Austin too has to stay healthy.
Miles Austin, that offensive line wasn't. You're going to start a rookie center that they drafted in the first round.
Yeah.
Oh boy, does he have some fucking critics to silence? My God. I mean, I'm one of them. I don't think the Cowboys should have went there in round 1. Eric Reed, the safety out of LSU, should have been a Dallas Cowboy. I think it was an absolute travesty that they didn't get him.
Well, that's Jerry Jones running the draft.
I think that's their problem. I think
it really is.
I've
Jerry
Jones
for years.
is out of business.
He's got to get football minds in there and let football minds do what they do.
Right.
He brought in Parcells, but he won't let Parcells. He don't give everybody the reins.
Right. No, I agree.
And that's the problem.
Well, he took him from Jimmy, and that was the last time.
That was it, Jimmy Johnson, and he disagreed with him, got thrown out of town, and that's been it since then.
Yeah. But so the Cowboys now that they were running with the Rob Ryan 3-4, right? They've been running 3-4 for years.
Yeah.
Now they're going with the Monty Tampa 2.
Switching over
going
Monty
to 4-3. How's DeMarco? How's he going to play with his hand out of the ground? DeMarcus Ware.
It's yet to be seen, I guess. I'm a little skeptical of it. Like I said,
I mean, you got Spencer.
I like him coming off. I don't know.
Your two best defensive players, probably maybe Shonley, but Spencer and
Ware.
You're putting in a different.
Right.
You're putting in a different position to play a different position this year. So that should be.
It's going to be very interesting to see how explosive they are.
I don't think the secondary is really that good either. It's going to be. That's going to be a very weak.
Well, if you get to the quarterback, and he gets the ball out quicker, it helps the secondary.
Yeah.
But so let's see if Ware, with his hand on the ground, it's going to be very interesting.
You guys are going to have a nice little opening week there, going head-to-head against each other. Yeah, at Dallas.
I like that. There we go.
Battle.
Yeah. All right.
We're going to have to place a wager on that.
We don't bet.
Oh, yeah.
Who you got, Walsh? Who's your next team?
All right, I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions. They are at 8 solid. Now, conventional thinking, probably going to finish 8-8 with that kind of line. But I like the Detroit Lions to win the division this year.
Okay.
All right. Matt Stafford didn't have the greatest of years last year.
2 years ago, he was awesome.
Right.
Another guy. Can he stay on the field?
Yes. I think he will. They made significant changes to that defense for the Detroit Lions. Calvin Johnson's your guy. Gonna be your go-to in any forum of anything. This guy is amazing. Reggie Bush added to the team.
He is the X factor.
Yes, and now there's a little bit
Get
of
him the ball in space. And let him do
little
his
bit
thing.
of a conundrum now for that second job because you got Joy Quee Bell and you got Michael Shore. Now, they're both going to split that RB2, title right there.
But you can spread Bush out, though. He's a pass
Oh, yeah,
catcher,
he's going to be a pass catcher. He's going to do a lot.
Yeah, he brings a different dimension to the offense, absolutely.
The only thing I don't like with Detroit, still struggling to find that solidified number 2 receiver. Probably going to be Nate Burleson again, but, if they stack too many people on Calvin Johnson.
Was the 1 and 2 there.
Yeah. 1, 2. Oh, man. But, I like them to win that division this year. Green Bay, always going to have issues with that offensive line. Chicago, new coach coming from the CFL. Don't know what's going to happen there. Minnesota, they're an interesting team this year. Did they win that trade or what with Percy Harvin? My goodness.
Who did they use with that pick? I don't remember.
I think it was Sharif Floyd.
Was that who it was that
I think
fell?
so, yeah.
Oh, then that was
How about that?
Good
Percy Harvin, that's like $25 million in dead money.
Yeah.
Right now.
My God. That's just a kick in the testicles right there for the Seattle Seahawks. So I like Detroit. It seemed 10-6 this year. I think you'd be safe with an over bet there for Detroit.
All right.
I like them over, too. I think you're onto something there. But winning the division, I don't know, man. Green Bay.
Well, they're good. They are good. But, listen, that Detroit's line this year, the defensive line,
double check.
that is going to put a hurting on the games that they play Rodgers. So, we'll see what happens.
You like Ponder in Minnesota in that division?
I don't, but I think he's got a lot of great options. He's got 3 nice receivers there now instead of just Percy Harvin. AP is always a plus, obviously.
Jennings,
and then Kyle Rudolph.
But any year AP has this year, it's got to be a letdown from last year, right? I mean, you can't expect him to have
Of course, he had the
year.
second best rushing
so it's
season
going to be
in the
right.
history
I'm
of the
saying
league.
it's going to be like a letdown of a year.
Hey, you know what?
But how good is Ponder? That's
me and you each have number 1 picks in respective drafts. We're still gonna be happy with that production.
Yeah, no, you have to take him
Unless he blows week 1.
Yeah.
Unless he gets washed.
Oh no, not again! All right, the grand finale, round 3, baby. What do you got, Vern?
All right, so I'm going out west, and this just struck me. I'm going with Arizona.
I like this. I was looking at it.
I'm not in love with Arizona, but the number's 5.5.
It's sexy, right? Why?
I think that's too low. I really do. I think Carson Palmer isn't. He's not that great. He's not even what he used to be, but he's still a lot better than the trash they were putting that quarterback last year with Skelton and whatever those other kids' name were.
That's a laughable quarterback depth chart.
I remember watching that Arizona Cardinal game, and it was like it was one of the worst quarterback games I've ever seen in my life. It was horrible. Poor Larry Fitzgerald, man.
Right, that's what I like. Is now
What was
Fitzgerald
that?
has somebody that could get him the ball.
That Jets game that was 7-3 or 7-6?
Something like that. I think the Jets actually won that game.
Brutal.
Right? Yeah.
Why didn't we take the under that
Jets
week?
football is tough to watch.
Yeah, no, but because they don't have any weapons, the Jets. Get back to them.
No.
Back to bashing them. They have no skill position. There's no one on that. They're going back to Braylon Edwards.
Kellen
It's
Winslow's
hard to
your
watch,
tight
but they
end?
sure are fun to bash.
But so Arizona, I'm not in love with them, but I think 5.5 too low. I think they're a 7-9 team.
You're right. When I
7-9
seen that,
team.
I'm like, why 5?
Yeah,
5.5.
I don't get why it's so low. I don't know what I'm missing. They have a pretty strong defense.
Defense, and
they have a
special
pretty strong
teams,
defense. I think, that quarterback upgrade I think is a huge thing. I think that number is just too low. I think that's off, and so I'm going Arizona over. So I'll recap myself. All right. So I got the Eagles under 7.5, Jets definitely under 6.5, and Arizona over at 5.5.
Give me a number of Jets wins. You think? What do you think?
3.5.
So they're going to tie again. Okay.
Yeah, no, like 3.5, 4. I literally think they're going to be horrible. I really do.
So they'll be picking on the top 5 again.
Well, did you see what Rex said? They asked him about Jadeveon Clowney, the kid from South Carolina, at the end, and he goes,
"The best in the world."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a crazy statement by Mark Richt, but he goes, "If the Jets are picking Jadeveon Clowney, I won't be here."
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
I think
That's funny.
I think that's definitely. I don't think Rex is going. I said that when we had Chris Gross to turn on the Jets.
Uh-huh.
I actually bet. I forget what the bet was. Something about
Steak.
Steak.
Yeah.
Steak. That there's no way.
Why
Rex Ryan's
didn't I
gonna be
get
the
in on
coach
that? I
next
love
year.
steak.
Yeah, well, you didn't think Ryan should be here this year.
I didn't know if
With
you
the
were
new
gonna,
quarterback coming in.
if you were going to
yeah.
fire the GM, you should have fired the coach too,
and
but
bring in a quarterback, why
right.
wouldn't you?
let the new regime pick the quarterback.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that ship sailed. But no, I see the Jets being really bad this year, and I'm going to enjoy every minute of it.
Woody Johnson, just like Jerry Jones, he's not a football mind, but he gets a little too involved, I think.
Yep.
I think you're absolutely right. Yeah. What do you think of Idzik? You've been impressed with Idzik?
Not really.
Neither
Not
here nor
really.
there.
Not making any big splashes. But
it's pretty
next
low-key.
year, I think next year they're going to have Sanchez off the books. They're going to be able to do some different things financially. So, they're going to have a much better team next year. Obviously. And, high draft pick, some free agents, get this shit turned right around.
New coach.
Get that butt fumbler out.
So, all right, Rich, who you got?
Bills under 6.5.
Oh, going against the predictor.
I have not drank the Kool-Aid yet. I mean, everybody's believing in hiring. Was this guy from Syracuse?
Yeah, Doug Marrone.
What's his name again? Yeah, it doesn't matter. No, I just don't see the. I don't see the turnaround. I don't see them going above 7 wins. Yeah,
so who do you think is going to wind up being a quarterback there? They got Cobb and they got the kid EJ Manuel. They drafted out of
Well,
Florida
again,
State.
not as much time pressure as the Jets for like the coaching job, but I see Cobb starting and moving into the kid from
similar,
FSU,
similar.
working out something like that. Because I don't know if you want to throw the kid right into the fire off the bat.
Right.
Maybe you do,
I gotta disagree with you on everything. I think the Bills are going to be over. I think 8-8 probably their ceiling, but
I'm putting in the bet today. Then.
All right. CJ Spiller, I think he's going to have a knockout year. Don't have to split time with Freddie Jackson. I'm a huge Stevie Johnson guy. I think the guy is a great receiver. Now you add Robert Woods to the mix. And I think
Robert Woods is going to be
but the quarterback, they're going to get it done right now.
EJ Manuel, he's your guy.
Right now,
he
he's
is the
going to
guy.
step in and get it done day one.
Yes.
The
I see a little bit of RG3 in this guy.
He's going to win
in terms
games.
of rookie production.
I don't think he's accurate as accurate as RG3, but I think he has a lot of talent. Marrone, he had his own guy in the seat sitting right there,
And he
taking,
wouldn't-
and he passed over
Yeah.
him. He
was
really
crazy,
liked
yeah.
Manuel.
Mm-hmm. I tell you what.
Well,
this
you got a rookie quarterback, rookie head coach. I mean, I know we've seen success with Matt Ryan and Smith and
Mike Smith.
Harbaugh did it with Flacco, right?
Yep.
And they went to the playoffs. But, I mean, outside of that, you really haven't seen it much in the league. And
No, I understand that, but listen, man, there's a guy that turned the Syracuse football program around,
pretty bad.
so that's got to say something about the guy.
2 different animals.
I
You
guess so.
see, but look what Patino and Calipari do in college basketball, and then they go to the
NFL.
Right.
Tell you-
It just doesn't translate to the pros, man. Nick Saban, he got laughed out of the pros.
Yeah.
He literally
That's
left
all
in
right.
the middle of the night, as did Bobby Petrino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I tell you what, though, with Buffalo, they have a very underrated defense. They got some players on that defense.
Mario Williams was a big addition last year.
Yep.
He didn't have much of a
That's
year.
all right.
Last
That's
season.
all right.
He's going to bounce back.
Yeah, I think so.
You go to Buffalo to die.
cornerback Gilmore you got there. I think Buffalo, standard 8-8 team.
Right.
Big improvement, but not enough to get into the playoffs this year.
And they get to play the Jets twice, and they stink.
Well, that
Absolutely.
helps. But you still gotta play New England. You still gotta play Miami. They're going to be well
They
improved.
can split with Miami.
I think Miami's going to
Not
be a
a
lot
bad-
better than people think.
So you like the Pats under? How good do you think the Pats are going to be?
What are
you
they?
think they're gonna win the
I think
division?
they're right at 11. I think they're
they're gonna
right
win
at
that
11. Absolutely,
Well,
without a
nine-
question.
nine,
Without
10
a
games
question.
wins that division.
I think Amendola is huge for them. I think he has to stay healthy. I think they're right in the backfield with Ridley and Vereen.
I think they'll be
When's
right.
Gronk coming back from his back surgery?
I mean,
that's the big thing. man.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You know the Patriots, so they could be keeping a tight lip on that one, and then all of a sudden Gronk comes back week 1.
Yeah, but this is not the
152 TDs.
This is
Bro,
the
this
first
is
time he messed up. Like that's why he went like 4th round because he was coming out of Arizona State and he had a bad back.
That's like his 7th surgery. Or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that,
So
right?
it's not the first time.
I look back to Brady,
Like
you know,
Jay Novacek-esque.
the year that Brady first got in there and he started doing work. You know, he didn't have any
He
big
didn't
name
have- yeah.
receivers. He
Well,
didn't
right,
have
he's won
anything.
Super Bowls
like,
with David
Patton.
Gibbons.
he hardly
Yeah,
had a
David-
running game, you know,
Yeah.
and he made that thing work. You know, I
Their
think
passing game was like they would run like
Right.
screens and
you
things
know?
of that.
And I
Well,
see
they're
a
gonna
lot
have
of
to
that
go back
happening
to
this
it,
year. I
yeah.
think Shane Vereen's going to have a huge year for this team. I think Stephen Ridley's always been a great running back. Had some fumbling troubles down the stretch last season, and you know, listen, I don't even think a murder charge and a broken back and all these different receivers out of New England's going to keep him down. I think Tom Brady's one of the best quarterbacks of our generation, if
hope they have direct
ever.
TV in
You know,
jail
I
for,
mean, I think Brady can make the most out of the least amount of talent better than anybody in this league.
Okay, that's interesting.
Him in that system, I mean, it just works, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you put Tom Brady in another system throughout his career if it would have worked out so well. And you know, I said that about Belichick as well because you know he had his shot in Cleveland and
Right.
you know with Bledsoe it wasn't working out so well, and then with Brady it just clicked.
Yeah,
so
thank God for Mo Lewis.
it's like Walsh and Joe Montana. You know, it just clicked and worked.
Not
and
that Walsh.
Not I was thinking about the
I was
great.
like, what
I
kind of
was like,
interaction I got
Bill
with
Walsh,
Joe?
John Walsh, the guy from America's Most Wanted. They've done great things in this world, and then I meet Al Walsh.
We make great TV, me and that John Walsh.
Oh.
All right, so recap your picks real quick.
I got the Pats under 11, the boys over 8.5, and the Bills under 6.5.
All
For
right.
show.
And for me to close out, one of my division rivals, do not like them at all, and you will not like them in the future, the Atlanta Falcons. Their line is right at 10 this year. I'm going to go under with the
Really?
Falcons, yeah. And I think it's going to be just under. I'm going to see these guys at 9-7 this year.
Why do you think they're going to regress?
Well, I'm going to tell you why. All right, a lot of close games last year to unworthy opponents. Okay, you got games against the Oakland Raiders,
That Carolina
just off
game
the
they
top.
squeaked out. Yeah.
They
Cost
lost
them
to
money.
Carolina. You know, they should have lost to Carolina twice. Now, you know, Matt Ryan got a couple shoulder issues. You know, Julio Jones and Roddy White are absolute
And
studs.
Tony Gonzalez is back.
Another year older as well.
Steven Jackson in the backfield this year.
Listen, I don't
Yeah,
think
but so
Steven
they're built
Jackson
to win like right now,
Right.
So
They're
this is
built
their
to win.
shot.
I don't
OC,
think Steven Jackson's going to fit in that well. I really
not?
don't. First year, you know, a lot of new terminology you got to learn. He's been doing it
he's a
with
veteran
one
guy.
team his whole career. It's going to be a tough transition for the guy.
I think
you
he's
know?
going to step in and be just fine. As long as he can stay healthy. That's the big thing. He's been a workhorse for so long.
yeah. I mean, I think
can those legs hold up? you
I
know?
think over the last 4 or 5 years, he's averaged like 250 carries a year, which is, you know, that's
He's an animal,
That's
yeah.
a ton.
I know they get
Cowboys
OC.
passed on him.
They get OC Umenora too.
Yeah, OC,
in the
right.
offseason, they lose Abraham.
Situational pass rusher.
Yeah,
OC's
definitely.
not every down guy anymore.
Right. But I see them taking a step back. The division's going to get a lot better. New Orleans, Tampa Bay, even Carolina is going to be a little bit better this year. A lot of those close games that they won last year, I don't see them pulling out this year.
I've seen something like historically in that division, like it goes one
yeah.
year, like they flip flop, like the top of the division goes to the bottom, the bottom. comes
Please
to
let
the
that
top.
happen again.
Like, it's
please.
just funny how that works. No, you're gonna stay at the bottom.
What's your number on the boys on Tampa?
On the Bucks, Bucks are 7.5 this year.
What do you think? We won't include this.
You know, I
What do you
always
think?
let's be realistic. You know, I always have them doing as well as they should. Realistically, 9-7 team thinking.
I give him 8, 9.
Josh
maybe
Freeman, man, he's
Tell you what, though,
Josh
absolutely.
Freeman of 2 years ago. You
we're
might win that
gonna
division.
we're gonna really see what this kid is made out of right now. You know, he's got the contract hanging over his head. Yes, he could be franchised next season, but dude, if you make the playoffs, you're gonna get a huge contract.
Right. Well, that's what
you
it's
know?
producer Yeah.
And this is a great situation
rocks,
for the
dude.
Buccaneers too, because it's like, you know what, like you're gonna see what this guy is really made out of under pressure. You know, there is no more pressure than what this guy is facing.
This is a
year.
win now year. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's playoffs or you're out of here.
Gianno's
you know?
in his second year.
And that's fine. I'm okay with that because, you know, I'm not 100% sold on Josh Freeman. I think maybe Mike Glennon, you know, he gets a year of work under him. You know, next year, maybe come in there, be the starting quarterback. If not, you know, maybe we'll look to something else. But
I see Freeman as serviceable, and with the right weapons around him, he can win games.
the one
Is
thing,
he ever going to get you over the hump?
we'll say,
Two
Kid's
years
got a
ago,
hell of an arm.
Yeah, it looked like he was headed in that direction. He had a really strong
Yeah.
year, and last year he definitely regressed. But you know, you got the revamped secondary. He made the big trade for Revis. I think if Freeman plays well, I think the Bucs. And I don't like saying this because I don't want your teams to do well.
Right.
But
Why
I think I think the Bucs could do well. I
Yeah.
do. If it's on Josh Freeman though.
You're a
do.
bad winner, though.
I am not. Stop. Remember 08? Nah, but you know what? The key to the Bucs this year, yes, it is Josh Freeman, but this defense, they have to get back to the old ways of buck ball. Just start laying the wood on people. They got it in the secondary now. If that front seven stays healthy for the Bucs, watch out.
I'll tell you what, I watched a ton of Rutgers games. Schiano can coach up a defense.
Absolutely.
He knows what he's doing. He doesn't do offense. He doesn't do quarterbacks. He can coach up
There
a
is-
The great thing is
there
Darrell
is-
Rivas. You could leave him out there
Right.
on an island, and
There
you get
is
sent in the
so
house.
much young talent in this front seven that's just been injured. Claiborne, you've got Gerald McCoy, you've got Daquan Bowers.
Yeah.
You know, you got guys
That's
like
a lot of
this
high picks.
that are great talents. They just got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Just got to stay healthy,
So,
guys.
maybe it all
recap
comes
yours real
together.
quick.
I went with over on the Detroit Lions of 8. I had the what else did I have? Over on 8.5 with the Colts, and then under with the Atlanta Falcons at 10. They were up.
So just real quick, let's talk about my Giants. So their number's 9. What do you guys think? I think that's a good number. I wouldn't know where to go. I think they're 9, 7,
you're
10.
right.
Now
There,
they're
10,
9 right
16.
on the button, right?
Yeah.
All right, so they're going to be 9. They're going to be
You're
9
right
and 7.
there, yeah, 9 and
Vegas
7.
is a bunch of
They're 9 and
a-holes.
7. They could win 10.
What's the money say?
The money on this says 115
Even
minus
money,
115
yeah.
above.
You're
They're
very
gonna-
funny, Vegas.
They're going to be
Yeah.
9 and 7. They're
Yeah.
going to be. It's ridiculous.
What do you think now? Did you hear this about Reeves putting up like a countdown of the Super Bowl clock?
Yeah.
And putting the team on notice. It's playoffs or bust.
I like it.
Even when they
should
won the
be a
Super Bowl, they were a
team.
9 and 7 team. Like they never lit the world on fire in the
agree.
regular season.
And then they missed. They were 10 and 6 and missed the playoffs. But we got to find your way into the playoffs. Whatever.
Absolutely.
And they've shown once they get there, they do work. You know,
yeah,
so
they make runs.
You got to get
Assholes.
there. I think a huge with them. And I don't like this way it starts. Hakeem Nicks is already hurt. He's already hurt. They sat
And it's
him
a
out
grind.
They sat him out of training camp. You
Those
know,
always
don't
come
like to
back.
hear. I'm actually. Maybe Ruben Randall could make the leap and kind of beat Nicks.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
Nicks
Eli
goes
does
down.
a great job of using the weapons around him. Again, like Cruz, I don't know how good he'd be on another team
Yeah.
without Eli. You know,
Right.
It's
Steve
same
Smith,
situation.
Manningham,
right.
those slot guys.
He makes these guys.
Yeah, he does. He does a great job.
I don't think the Giants should bring Knicks back regardless next season because this team has a lot more needs than the wide receiver position. So hopefully you can get Randall, maybe get a nice draft pick at wide receiver next year. But Knicks has the injury problems. I think it's time to set sail with them after this year.
He's a tremendous talent.
He is.
And you're gonna have to.
He's got
pay him.
hands as big as his freaking computer.
No,
you know?
he is. He is. But they need both of them. They need
Science.
Cruz and Knicks. They need Cruz and Knicks in order for that offense to be at its strongest.
Yeah.
You know, Eli already said that he feels like he has something to prove this year. That he didn't have a great year last year. Didn't pass for 4,000 yards for the first time since I think 08. So you know he had a first time in his
prove he's
career.
elite?
He went he
Yeah.
went
Got
3
that
games
again?
without a touchdown. So you know he needs to step up, and I think that's big on Knicks. I love the Myers signing a tight end.
Love that
Love
signing.
that.
Love it.
I don't think he's going to catch 75 balls like he did in Oakland last year, but I think that's a
He's
not
nice
huge.
targeted.
addition.
Huge.
A nice addition.
You leave that guy wide open. The guy catches everything.
Yeah.
He had a very low amount of drops, if any, last year. So definitely going to be interesting with the Giants this year. We just absolutely killed that segment. Like, we went so long with that, but that's fine. You know, it just shows the diversity of this bunch.
I don't know what that means, but all right.
Means we're well-rounded people.
I also like the Rams.
All right. Like them too. He got a little glimpse of Sammy Bradford's helmet right there.
Got some weapons. Jeff Fisher.
All right. All right, let's get to two videos real quick before we get to the Coles News Network. We got the first one from the Scandals called the All-Nighters. Guys from Bayonne, Scandals doing great things right now out there on a bunch of different tours, stuff like that.
Opening for Gaslight.
Gaslight, yes.
Tour, huh?
Sure did.
Yeah.
All right, and then after that video I caught the other night, there's a great one. Deep Chambers, this one's called Overlooked. Make sure you stay tuned for that one. We are 14A Sports on 15 Minutes of Fame Radio, and we'll be back with the Coles News Network.
Yeah.
Let's go.